let us move on to the last topic for conversation. The main opposition party, the PDP, had planned its national convention for November 15th to 16th, 2025 in Ibadan. But the court order halted the process, and the tensions between factions loyal to the minister of the FCT, Nyesom Wike, and other party elites have filled the suit that stopped the convention. So, what do you make of all these, counter and how do they put it? The allegations, the accusations, the fight, and the factionalization or balkanization of the PDP.
You see, I was reading something on Facebook where somebody who's supposed to be a journalist was attacking judiciary. What happened? There were different cases filed against the PDP convention. Lamido, who wanted to contest for the position of chairman of the party at the age of 77, went to court and told the court to stop the PDP convention from taking place until the matter of what he called is illegal exclusion from contesting is addressed. Now, if Justice Lefu had listened to Sule Lamido's prayers, he would have given an order stopping the convention from taking place. Now, Sule Lamido, as far as he was concerned, the convention should be stopped because the leadership decided to not allow him to take part in the election for the chairman of the party. But Justice Lefu said, no, I'm going to give the respondents 76 hours from the time the motion on notice was filed or served them to come and explain to him why he should not grant Sule Lamido's prayers. I really like the decision that Justice Lefu took, which was to listen to both sides before taking a decision. If he now concluded in the final analysis that Sule Lamido had been unfairly treated, he could then decide to stop the convention and force the leadership of the party to do what is right. What is right would then mean, okay, the person that you have stopped from contesting, give him a chance, make the field open to people who are free to contest. That is one side. The other matter was brought by some PDP members who argued that the party breached its own constitution by not giving the INEC 21 days notice. He claimed that they did not serve INEC 21 days notice of this convention. Secondly, that the signature of the national secretary did not pass through the notice of the convention. So the chairman alone cannot sign. This has always been the case. So Justice Omotosho then decided that, you cannot hold this convention until you have complied with the constitution of your party. Because INEC ought to supervise the exercise, but the judge affirmed that INEC did not get a statutory 21 days notice. So the judge said, you cannot hold that convention until you have complied with the Constitution. And if they do not comply with the Constitution, you and I know that whatever transpires from that convention is a nullity. The PDP must stop doing this sort of thing to itself. Remember how the National Assembly members from Plateau State lost their positions. They lost their positions because of this same kind of problem. If you conduct congresses that are in violation of the Electoral Act, then whatever proceeds from the outcome of such Congress will not be obeyed. I expect, I'm not writing off the PDP, I'm not writing off the convention. I expect them to appeal, for example, appeal the judgment of Justice Omotosho. If they had fulfilled those obligations and then the judge went ahead and gave a judgment against them, they have the right of appeal. Now, the final part of it is the suspension of key national school members of the PDP. Under Section 58 of the PDP Constitution, a member who engages in acts capable of bringing the party to disrepute, who disobeys lawful directives, or causes disaffection among members of the party is liable to disciplinary action. So now, the National Legal Advisor of the party, Kamaldeen Ajibade San, has been suspended for 30 days. The Deputy National Legal Advisor, Okechukwu Osuala, and they too has been suspended for 30 days. The National Organizing Secretary, Umar Bature, and the Secretary, Samuel Anyanwu, have both been suspended for a month. So PDP has wielded the big stick. The question people are asking is, why did it take this long to move against people that the party was convinced were working against its interest? What were they doing all along? Why didn't you wield the big stick before now? Why did you wait until the convention of your party had become imperiled before you moved against officers of the party that you suspected were blacklegs, working against the well-being of the party? So PDP often behaves like a party desperate to destroy itself. Because if you knew some people were out to ensure that the PDP dies untimely, what was holding you from moving against such individuals? Because if the PDP cannot hold this convention, then it is unfortunate. So this is where we are. I wish the party well. I want to see the PDP hold this convention. We need a solid.
Hello, Biko. We're struggling to hear you. Hello, Biko.
So I'm saying that if the PDP is unable to hold this convention, then it's very unfortunate. And I said all along, I'm sure you heard that why did it take them so long to move against blacklegs within their party? We need a solid opposition. I personally would like to see the PDP have a successful convention. And if they must go to court and have the judgment of Justice Omotosho set aside so that they can have their convention. I support them absolutely. And I do not think it makes sense for party members, including Sule Lamido, to go to courts seeking to stop his own party from having an elective convention. I don't think it is right. Sule Lamido has been in the party from inception. He ought to know better. Because if that judge had granted his prayers, honestly, nobody will even be talking about those officers that have now been suspended. They will be talking about Sule Lamido as having engineered the suspension of the convention of the PDP. But the judge held back from granting his prayers and said, I want to listen to the respondents first. So that's where we are.
That's right. Let me take some comments on this. Michael Ekong says, so PDP can't even manage one convention, yet they want to manage a country. Now, wow. Salma Ibrahim, I think this legal standoff is good. Maybe now they'll stop treating the party like a private estate and start respecting due process. Iken Naobiora says, the PDP crisis shows Nigerian politics is about personalities, not policies. Until that changes, conventions will keep turning into court cases. Lillian Okafor says, honestly, I see this as growing pains. Every party goes through it. The APC had its own meltdown too. Internal democracy is messy, but necessary. As with Custom Biko, I don't know whether you agree with Lillian Okafor, on this, saying that APC had its own meltdown too, and the internal democracy is messy, but necessary. So she's very optimistic that the PDP might, eventually find its footing ahead of the 2027 general election.
Yeah, they can still redeem their image, but I had looked forward to this convention of the party, but now the convention is in danger of not holding because they need to set aside Justice Omotosho's judgment. They need to set it aside so that they can proceed. If they do not succeed, and I don't know what Justice Lifu's court, we can't say at this stage what kind of judgment will come from there, where one of the most loyal party members, Sule Lamido, decided to go to court that he was not allowed to contest for chairman. And for that reason, the court should stop the process until the determination of his substantive suit. If the court grants that order, where would the PDP be? Where would the PDP be?
That's right. Interesting developments, Bikil. I guess it's about time we call it a wrap on the program. That's our show for today's edition of Issues with Jide. Special thanks to you, Baba Jide Kolaudu, for those certain analyses as always.
Thank you. Thank you, Brian, for doing this with me. I say a big thank you to our viewers. We appreciate your loyalty, standing by us through thick and thin. We'll continue to give our best for your sake.
Yeah, as Vicar said, thanks to our audience for keeping our company on every edition. You can see the program again anytime by subscribing to our YouTube channel, TVC News Nigeria. Click on the subscribe button to get the latest information. You can also follow us on our social media platforms at TVC News AG. I'm also at Ibrahim_Shita. On behalf of the rest of the team, I'm Ibrahim Shita. See you again next edition. Bye for now.
Thank you, Brian.